Hello, my name is Shivani. This is the Curly Bookworm. Welcome. Okay, so over the last few months, I want to say like 6 or 8, I have a ton of books that I've bought from mostly from like local bookstores. Either somebody gave it to me or I went and bought it myself, and I want to show you because I'm quite excited about a lot of them. I don't even know if I'm going to finish them this year because it's like a lot of books. And every time I go to a local bookstore, I get super excited. And I do have like bookworm friends. My sister's a bookworm, and all of us, like as an activity, go to bookstores, especially like small bookstores or like local bookstores. I have this one in Bangalore that I really love. It's called The Bookworm. I don't like it because it has something to do with my name. I've gone there ever since I was in my teens or whatever, and I love that bookstore. The whole experience of buying in a local bookstore is that the person kind of knows you, he knows your taste, or she knows your taste, and then they sort of end up giving you a lot of stuff that 9 out of 10 times you actually will like. I have found one in Bombay as well. It's called Trilogy. It's here in Bandra. It's like this tiny little place. It also has a mini library, or a actual library. I say mini because in Bombay everything is mini because there's just no space. Let me get into these books because honestly I have such a mad load of them that I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to like finish all, or I don't know how long this video is going to be. But before we get into it, please subscribe to my channel, please like this video, it helps the algorithm, and most importantly, please leave me comments. I mean, tell me of all of these books if you've read any, or more importantly, if you're excited about any of these. Let me know, like comment, okay, seriously, because if you don't, I'll feel like I'm talking to a camera, which I technically am, but I also would like to talk to you in the comments below. So please leave me a comment, do me that favor. Okay, let's finally start this. Okay, so the first book is this one. It is called At Dusk by Hwang Sok-yong. This is supposedly about a man who is, I think, quite old, and as he grows old and his company sort of gets into some sort of trouble, he realizes that this whole success story that he has had for himself this whole time, he's come from like this poor background, and then he apparently like makes it big in life in this architectural huge firm, and he thinks he's achieved a lot both for his company and his country, but as he looks back, he realizes that that's not necessarily true. I'm excited about it because I love reading Asian type of literature. I love reading these stories. I feel like it's a very different cultural perspective, and I feel like this will also be. Of course, there's like the whole hype and the popularity of K-drama of late, which is all fun, but this book does sound interesting. And honestly, I basically picked it up because my the guy at the store, the bookworm, was like, you're definitely gonna love this, just like pick it up. And I just do, because when he does say I like something, who am I to question it? And it's a nice book cover, don't you think? Okay, let's move on to the next one. This one is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Wong. This I'm sure you've heard of. It's been on the internet. I think all of last year everybody was talking about it, or was it the year before? I'm not sure, but everybody was talking about it, and I had to pick it up because everybody was talking about it. It's supposed to be a really poignant story about a man who has a blind mother, and he's writing her a letter. That's all I know about it, and if I've gotten that wrong, then like forgive me, but that's what I know about it, and I'm really excited about it. Again, what a gorgeous cover, guys. I mean, autumn leaves, what's not to love? Okay, so the next book that I have is this one. This is called Where Are You Going, You Monkeys? Okay, no, let me say that again. Where are you going, you monkeys? That I feel like is the way the author has intended to say it, at least in my head it is. These are essentially really cool stories from Tamil Nadu. They are translated from Tamil, and they're local sort of almost, well, not mythological stories, but they're local stories that are passed down from generation to generation. There's this thing in the middle here. I don't even know what it is. I haven't gotten into it. It's kind of tied up. I don't know what it is, but there's some like text here which I'm going to read to you. It says, "Day, don't ever go near Tata. He tells stories with all kinds of dirty words in them." It's really amusing. Tata, for those who don't know, is grandfather. So basically he's saying don't ever go next to your grandfather. He tells all kinds of stories with dirty words in them. Why wouldn't you buy this book? Why wouldn't you? But recently I've gotten into this whole thing of like short stories. It happened because of these local bookstores. I go there and they recommend these books and I take it at face value and I buy them and I'm like, hey, wait, I really like short stories. Maybe it's a phase, I don't know, but I'll show you a bunch of other books that I've bought that are short story books as well. The next book that I want to talk about is this one. This is called You Are Here for Now by Adam J. Kurtz. This is a book that my sister has given me. They're actually her, what are these called? What are they called? Post-it things, markers, pointers, I don't know. Anyway, so she really likes this book. She really loved it and she wanted a copy herself, but before I left Bangalore, she very sweetly said, I want to give you this book. I can't find a copy of it. I'll buy it later. Why don't you take it? I guess you could put it in that self-help category, but I love that like these days self-help isn't really self-help the way we used to see it before. It's more philosophy and philosophizing and modern advice. It's just like suggestions, and this is sort of this book basically deals with you are here for now, stay in the present and do what is best for you right now. Like, don't be worried about the future and have that future hold you prisoner, or don't be anxious about what you're not, but you are here now and see how you can work with that. And so that's what I think this book's message is. That's what my sister told me it is, and I read a few pages and it felt like that. It's quite nice from what I've read so far, and I'll tell you how it goes. The next book that I want to show you is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. If you have been watching my videos, you know that I have listened to the audiobook of this several years ago, but very recently I have turned to a creative life, or at least a part of my time is turned to a creative life. As you can see, there's an easel behind, which I very recently got. I'll tell you about that whole dramatic story. And you know, I've been making art and all of that, and so I feel like this is a good time for me to read a book like this, which talks about how the power of creativity is something that you can harness while still leading a successful and beautiful life. Like, you don't have to be a starving artist, you don't have to be a starving creator. You can have all of that and a very fulfilling life, and you know, pointers to that direction. And it was a lovely book. I think I remember giving it like a 5 on 5. It was read by the author herself. I will be rereading this. I bought this physical copy because I was just like, I need to get into it. I need to like get in there with my markers. And yeah, I'm excited. The next book that I want to talk about is this one. This is The Women Who Forgot to Invent Facebook and Other Stories by Nisha Susan. Again, these guys today are making the best book covers ever. I mean, look at that. It's gorgeous. These are short stories again. Most of them are based on women who live in South India. At least like I've read, let me show you that much so far. I love them. Like so far, really like them. These are just like quick stories about women in South India, like really cool, fun stories. I don't know how else to tell you or describe this story. Like, I don't know if they have I don't know if it has anything in common with it except for this, but yeah, it's like super fun so far, and I would totally recommend it, at least from, you know, whatever I've read so far. But let me read the rest and I'll wrap it up to you and tell you one day. This is the next book that I want to talk about. This is Klara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. I hope I pronounced that right. But this one is one that like everybody was talking about on the internet, so literally I picked it up because I was really intrigued. It has a really cool cover. You know, it looks transparent, but it's not. It's quite cool, right? Anyway, so this is about artificial intelligence, if I'm not wrong, and a story of one such robot. Is that what it is? Is that, I don't know. It's like this mannequin slash personal assistant type robot from the first few pages. That's what I got. Who is almost like a nanny to kids, I think. I am not sure. But what I do know is that's supposed to be like really profound. It is supposed to be a sort of outside in view of how artificial intelligence slash these robots or personal nanny things look at humanity and their take on it. This one particular robot in particular, whose name is Klara. and her take on how she sees humanity. And so it's supposed to be a really sort of nuanced and poignant book. I will let you know what I think about it. Let me know if you have read this one. The next book that I want to talk about is this one. This is Elena Ferrante's Incidental Inventions. So what this book is about is quite interesting. They're not short stories quite, they're articles. So Elena used to get one word from The Guardian. She used to write for them. And she would take that word and write all her feelings about that word. So love, for example, or like flowers or whatever. Now I'm making stuff up, but you know what I mean. And so she kind of just gives you 2 pages or 3 pages of whatever she feels about that prompt. I love her writing. I've read this other book. I'll show you that book. And I thought it'd be an interesting read, especially since I'm in this mood for like short pieces of things to read. I think I'll enjoy it. I'll let you know. So this is the Elena Ferrante book, the other Elena Ferrante book, right? Both covers, oh my god, so pretty. Okay, so this one, I'm not gonna lie, I literally picked it up because of the cover. Look at that color combination. It's insane, right? It's called The Lying Life of Adults. I just literally this morning finished it. It was intense. I will tell you about it in a wrap up. But for now, you should know that this is about a girl called Giovanni. She lives in Naples. She is born to 2 people who are intellectuals. That, I mean, I think both of them are professors or work in the university or something like that. And she's the only child, and she, as she grows up, discovers that she is a very, very complex teen. In part, that was quite hard for me to read. Again, okay, this is not a wrap up. I'm not going to tell you about the book, but it's an intense book, and I just wanted to show it to you because I bought this a few months ago, literally just because how beautiful it was. This is the next book that I want to talk to you about. This one is the one. This is Cocktails and Camels by Jacqueline Carroll. This is, my best friend gave me this book for our birthday because we share a birthday. So Nancy was traveling in Egypt during her sabbatical last year, and if you don't know who Nancy is, you can watch one of my videos. I think the last couple of videos had her in it. We both talked about trip tips for reading more. And so Nancy was traveling to Egypt, and she went to Alexandria, and she got this book for me. I'm so excited to read it. I have read the first few pages because you have to every time you get a new book. This is about life in Alexandria in the 30s and the 40s, 1930s and 40s. Isn't it strange that when I say 30s and 40s, like 20 years from now, you have to like specify which 30s and 40s? What a weird time to be alive. Anyway, sidetrack aside, the point is that this book is about the cultural landscape there. It's for this woman who describes her life and her family's life, and through that, from what I understand, there's a lot of cultural nuances that we get to learn, and I'm very excited about this book. I will tell you what I think about it once I'm done. You tell me if you've read it. The next book I want to talk about is this one. This is Anne Patchett's These Precious Days. This is a short story collection. I'm not sure what it is really about or if there's a theme or anything of that sort. I literally bought this because of the other book that I liked of hers, The Dutch House, which I have talked about in some of my previous videos. I like her writing. I like how insightful she is, and I also really like her style of using language, and so we'll see. I also really like how she works with characters and exposition, so I feel like I might really enjoy like a short story collection by her. If any of you have read it, let me know what you think. The next one that I want to talk to you about is this one. How cute is it? It is called Cat People by Devapriya Roy. This is an Indian author who's put together a collection of short stories by various different authors, and they are about cats. The cats are the protagonists in all of the stories. I read a few, very, very, very cute. I'll continue reading it, and when it's done, I'll tell you if you should pick it up. But so far, so good, guys. It's very, very cute. This is the next book I want to talk about. This is Machinehood by S.V. Divya. If you haven't already figured out from the book cover, it is a sci-fi book. This is supposed to be set in the future in 2095. I'm not sure if I'm going to be alive at that point, but if you will, believe this book, maybe I actually will, because the plot of this book involves people staying alive at that point because they're on certain pills that are funded by these major pharma companies. These pills also help them survive in a these pills also help them survive in a very competitive gig economy along with AI bots or just artificial intelligence. I am not at my best with this right now, but you get the point. It is set in the future, there's artificial intelligence, they operate alongside humanity, and then there is apparently this terrorist group or something like that called the Machinehood, who comes and interferes with the production of these pills that keep humanity alive and thriving and whatever, surviving. And sounded really cool to me, and I wanted to know what that world would be like, considering, like I said, I might not be alive in 2095, or I might be. I don't know. I'm going to stop talking about this book now. I'll let you know how it goes. This is the next book that I picked up. This is The Cat Who Saved Books by Sosuke Natsukawa. I think I pronounced that right, but if I haven't, again, apologies. So this is a really sweet book. I love the cover. It has a cat, so like, what's not to love? And the name, right? The Cat Who Saved Books. What's not to love? So as the book's title suggests, it is about this kid whose grandfather used to run a shop that is kind of going under now that the grandfather is not alive anymore, and this is a cat who helps save books, or the bookstore, something like that. I don't know, but I was totally convinced to pick it up just by the title of the book. Okay, so the next book that I want to talk about is this one. This is Mammy Banter, The Secret Life of an Uncool Mum by Serena Terry. This is about an Irish woman, a mother of three. I literally picked it up because I think I have a bias towards this color, this turquoise, sea green, whatever color. This book is about a woman who is fed up with her life. She feels really unsexy, really uncool. She feels like she's become this, I don't know, like super uncool mom figure. Like, she's reminded of her own mother and how uncool she thought as a teenager her mother was. And so yeah, so she's on a quest to try and like change that about herself. Sounded like fun, sounded easy peasy, and some days you do need easy peasy. So yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. One of the last books that I want to talk about is this beautiful set. It's a graphic novel, and I'm not joking. I literally bought it because it's beautiful. I was walking out of the store having bought this one, and then I was like, hey, what is this beautiful book? I want it. And literally that's how I bought it. Look at it. So pretty. So pretty. The illustration is just insane. And then that's how they look. And then let me show you some pages as well. Pretty cool, right? It is about, I think there's different stories from the Puranas and the Mahabharata. I'm very much looking forward to reading it, only because it's so gorgeous and I'm sure it's going to be a treat. The next book that I want to show you is this one. This is Habibi by Craig Thompson. I'm not sure, but it was kind of very popular on the internet. It was a gift from somebody for me. I love it. It's a graphic novel and it's gorgeous. I know you can't tell in, maybe you can, I'm not sure, but it's unbelievable. It's really pretty. It's got a lot of inspiration from the Quran, stories of the Quran. It's about this girl who I think was taken away by slavers, and then she escapes and she kind of raises this other kid, and then there's many stories. She takes you through some stories from the Quran, she takes you through some stories, I don't know, from the past and from the future. It's quite confusing when you're first reading it, but you just have to go with it because it's a graphic novel and it's exposed really beautifully. I don't know much else about this book. I just know that it's beyond gorgeous. It's quite thick, but it is a graphic novel, so it won't be like let me show you the first page actually. I don't know if you can tell how beautiful it is, just, you know. So yeah, so far it's been a treat to read just because it's just so pretty. So yeah, very excited about this book. The second last book that I want to talk to you about is this one. This is 1984 by George Orwell. This is also a graphic novel. It is so nice. Just, I don't know again if you're able to see this. It's brilliant. It's really pretty. I actually picked this up at the Bookworm, which is that small bookstore in Bangalore, but I haven't read it so far. I picked it up a long time ago. I haven't read it so far. I tried reading it in December during Christmas holidays when I had COVID. Unfortunately, what a shit way to spend like the holiday season. But anyway, I started reading it then, and then I realized that okay, this may not be the best time to read a depressing story. And you won't believe it, but I haven't read 1984 before. I know it's strange. Everybody just like assumes that it's a rite of passage, and maybe it is. It just wasn't for me, but I'm really happy to be reading it in this graphic novel format. It seems, at least words wise, very similar to the actual book itself, because I also have the actual book, and it seems like it's incorporated the story very closely. But I'll let you know how it goes, and I'll wrap it up when I'm done with it. The last book that I want to show you today is this one. This is I Know an Artist. I'm such a sucker for like graphic novels or books with like pretty things in it. Look at these illustrations. Awesome, right? So this book is about different really big artists that have these amazing connections between each other, and like I said, it is beautifully illustrated. Okay, that was not the right page to show you. Okay, but there you go. So very well illustrated, very beautiful, very excited to read this. I'm actually reading this, you know, like once in a while I'll read a page and then I'll go back to read it. So treating it sort of like a short story instead of reading it all in one go. But it's just really pretty, and I, as you know, I'm very interested in art, so super relevant to me. Okay, so that was a super long video. I did not expect it to be, but I guess that's how many books I had to show you, and that's how many books I bought in the last, you know, well, recent past. So I'm gonna shut up now because I'm tired of talking. Seriously. Bye. See you later.